United States citizens, how do we feel about this? The Trump administration for next year will be limiting the amount of refugees coming to the United States to only 7,500, and those refugees will most likely only be white South Africans. That is what the Federal Registry is saying right now, and we have to break this down. For nearly 80 years, the United States had this refugee program, which started during World War II for those people who are trying to flee war, persecution, and violence in their own country. It really came into play when it came to Holocaust survivors who had nothing to go back to and who wanted to be in that area in which those horrible things happened. They were allowed to come here to the United States. They can come here, start a new life, build up their own entire families here, and build generations of families, which, yeah, there's a lot of generations here in the United States that came through because of this refugee program. And over those 80 years, we've seen many different variations of this program to help out people from Vietnam, people from Afghanistan, people from Syria, people from Ukraine. But there was always a set number of how many can come into this country every single year. Because if they had an open one, millions would come in. And so that set cap, at least under Biden, was 125,000 maximum per year. Not every year they hit that, but that was the number. And now Donald Trump is moving that down to only 7,500, with the focus mostly being on white South Africans. And without going into too much detail, I just want to know your thoughts on this. So if you're in the United States, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. I'll be sure to keep you updated on this, so please do share my videos and follow me for more. You don't need to worry about Donald Trump testing nuclear weapons. I'm going to tell you that right now. And that's coming from what we actually already know about testing going on right at this very moment every single year. And one of Trump's nominee to oversee the U.S. nuclear arsenal, who actually told Congress that he doesn't read into a Donald Trump post on Truth Social. So let me go ahead and break it down for you. First and foremost, don't put it in your head that the United States, they don't test their weapons. They don't know what's going on. Oh, no, we do. And when it comes to nuclear testing, there's a few things that they do. One, they test the actual opening and closing of the lids to make sure things are good to go. They test the fuel. They test all of these things. But the biggest test they do are simulations on computers, because they know it doesn't make any sense to launch a bomb in the middle of somewhere to test what's going to happen. They could just run all the calculations inside of a computer and put it on XYZ target and figure out what would happen if it went kaboom here. And that's what the United States has been doing. They're known for contingencies. They've got contingencies for contingencies, and there has never been a reason to test weapons since we already know what would happen if we did X, Y, and Z. And it's not like you can, shoot off one of these things and go, oh, well, this one works. It doesn't mean that the next one's going to work 100%, though, from what we know and how much money the U.S. spends. I mean, they spend billions on making sure the stuff works right. The U.S. stuff's pretty good to go. And if you're worried about Russia launching this stuff, just so you know, the amount of money the United States spends per year on just this one program alone, the nuclear program, keeping them, is more than what Russia spends on its war in Ukraine. And Trump's own advisors actually didn't know he was going to make this announcement. And I actually don't think anyone did, but he's doing this. He's saying these things because he's frustrated with Putin. He keeps talking about all these nukes or nuclear power things that are happening that the Russians are doing. And Trump just finally wanted to just be like, nah, man, we've got more stuff and they're bigger than yours. So just calm down a little bit here. Maybe kind of check Putin just a little bit. But let me know what you think about this. Do you think this is reckless? Or do you think maybe it's just a kind of a sign that Trump is just trying to look to Putin and be like, yo, man, stop it, because we've got all this stuff and we're retaining our stuff. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll be sure to keep you updated. So please do share my videos and follow me for more.